G'day guys, today I thought we would take a quick look at the SF2000 handheld game console, maybe cover some of the things other reviews don't mention. We'll have a look at some custom cores, we'll try Snatcher for the Sega CD, I'll show a few quirks of the regular emulators versus the custom core emulators, and we'll wrap it up. So starting off, just show we are running Multicore Alpha. The latest version, which is 0.1 as of making this video. And we'll just go into the custom cores list, which is under system ROMs list. And we'll start off with Doom 2. So strafing works, obviously turning works. The joystick is just mapped to the D-pad, so whatever the D-pad is physically, the joystick will also be. Fortunately, there's no weapon change button. I've tried mapping it under settings. Key bindings, as you can see, it's set to back, which is also set to open. So that's a shame. Alright. So it does work, but unfortunately, because you can't change the weapon, it's not really playable. I'm sure it's just something I've missed, but I couldn't get it working. Next, we'll try Snatcher for the Sega CD. So there's the boot BIOS.
I'm Gillian Seed. I've been assigned to Junker headquarters effective today.
Oh, you're Mr. C. Please forgive me. My name is Mika Slayton. I'm the administrative assistant and operator here at Junker headquarters. Very pleased to meet you.
So as you can see, everything works fine with Sega CD, at least on Snatchers. Video works, animations, music, all that. Save states do in fact work. A lot of people online are saying you can't save and load states with custom cores. As you can see, you definitely can. I think that'll do it for Snatcher. Next we'll try Wolf 3D, which unfortunately has the same issue as Doom, where you can't change weapons, but everything else works. Again, I'm sure I've just missed something. Maybe you can remap the L and R buttons instead of strafe to change weapons, but I've only got the shareware version on here, haven't bothered. So now I can't change the weapon back, unfortunately, but strafe works. It's a bit of a deal breaker for me, but it might be an added challenge, if that's your thing. And save states do work. This is the secret level. Select brings up the map, by the way, and pause just pauses. Alright, next we'll try GBA Video. So this is just a Blade Runner music video from YouTube. I've converted it using I believe it's called Meteo. I'll put it in the comments anyway, the correct name. And I'll let you convert short clips to Game Boy Advance ROMs. And this plays Game Boy Advance ROMs, so it works fine. You can't get more than a few minutes on it, just because of the file size limit. You can't skip, any button brings you back to the start. So it's not really practical, but handy for short clips or music videos. Next, there is a music player. I'll turn the volume down just so I don't get copyright, but it's very similar to the movie player. I believe it's called GB Player A. But yeah, it's just a regular MP3 player. You've got to convert it to Game Boy Advance format first, but it works fine. But unfortunately, there is no headphone socket on this. That is a 2.5mm, not a standard 3.5mm jack. So even if you could get the regular audio out of it, and if it did line up with the headphone pins, physically it doesn't connect. I think that's it for the custom cores. Oh, Wonderswan. So Wonderswan does work. Save and load states work. Pressing select changes the orientation, just like it would on a real console. Haven't seen any issues with Wonderswan emulation yet. Everything seems fine. Now with the stock Game Boy Advance emulator, a lot of games don't work or they're unplayably slow. And just as an example, Final Fantasy Origins has a game-breaking glitch on the overworld. So it looks fine so far, a little bit slow, a little bit laggy, but it seems playable until you get to the overworld, unfortunately. Alright, so it looks fine here. Down goes down, right goes right. Unfortunately, left also goes right, and up goes down. Everything gets out of sync. Yeah, definitely not playable. That's using the stock emulator. Now if we go over to the custom core, I'm not sure what core I've selected. I'm pretty sure it's the recommended one. We load it up in here. Doesn't have that issue at all, and it is playable, although slow, obviously. So it's no slower than the stock emulator, but it doesn't have the glitch, which is great. Just show you here. So a bit of lag, but it's a slow RPG anyway, so shouldn't be an issue. Now with Super Nintendo, Megaman X 1, 2, and 3, they're all fine. There's a few graphical glitches in 2, nothing major, just a few oddities. Again, not game breaking, just visual. So I've completed 100% X1. I'll just show X3. I haven't finished yet, but I'll show X2. Unfortunately, my save file has corrupted. Yeah, it's frozen. But it is playable, apart from that one time it's corrupted it. Megaman X3. Again, it's only a little bit slow when there's too many sprites on screen, but so it'll be the same on a real console. I haven't noticed any graphical glitches with X3 yet. I'll just pick a level. Again, all the SNES games have slight audio glitches. You might be able to hear it. Right there, it stuttered a little bit. But yeah, definitely playable. With Donkey Kong Country 2, it is definitely playable, but where there's a lot of water on the screen, like Lockjaw's Locker, it does slow down a fair bit. Just load my save state. I have 102% of this game on here, so no issues. So I'll show a regular level. Again, pretty much full speed, a little bit of slowdown occasionally, but nothing too bad. You might be able to see some screen tearing. That's on every game on the console, that's just the console unfortunately. So regular levels are fine. If we exit out of this, I'll just show you Lockjaw's Locker. Fine now until you get down to the water, and you can already see it's running a fair bit slower. Not unplayable, and luckily there's only, I believe, 3 water levels in DKC2. Just something to keep in mind. With DKC3, there is unfortunately a lot more water. So pretty much the first world is more than half water levels. Do we have a save state? So this is the first level. As you can see, it's half speed. It does go a little bit faster in patches, but generally, like here, it's not too bad, and it slows down again. So here's not too bad, and then slows down there. But on the very next level, where there's no water, it runs a lot better. It does slow down when there's heaps of sprites. For example, this right here, you can see it's slow, which again, it does that on a real console. You can also see the screen tearing quite bad on this level. These aren't deal breakers for me, but it might be for you. Just something to keep in mind. This is a very cheap console. Next, I'll show everything else seems to work on it anyway. Game Boy Color runs full speed. I will show Game Boy games that are enhanced for Game Boy Color. By default, will play in color on this console unless you change the flag in the ROM. So, for example, Pokemon Yellow would be a color game. I don't have it added to the shortcut. I'll have to load it manually. A better example might be Megaman Xtreme, which is Game Boy Color enhanced. So all I've done is I've went into the ROM and I've just changed the flag which tells it which console it's designed for. from a 1 for Game Boy Color, I believe, to a 0, which is DMG. So as you can see, it's black and white. And these games all run full speed, obviously, or very close to it. So that's that. If we go to the same, oops, if we go to the same game on the Game Boy Color ROM list, I've left this one untouched, so it has the default flag, which is Game Boy Color Enhanced. And as you can see, full color. So just something to keep in mind if you wanted to play a game that supports both, like Zelda, DX, Megaman Xtreme, Pokemon Yellow, Gold, and Silver. They all support Color Enhanced and DMG, as well as Dragon Warrior 1 and 2. You can just edit that one flag and it will force it into DMG mode. Game Boy Advance is pretty slow, as I've mentioned, just in general. And I think that'll do it for today. Thanks for watching.